All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob for Smoking Gun Reviews. It's Sunday night, 9 o'clock. That means Sharp Objects episode 2 just got over. It's called Dirt. I highly recommend you go watch it because this will be spoilers. And yeah, this is a really good episode. Again, the authenticity that this show has for a small town, at least again, coming from last week when I talked about how much I identify with the small town that this place portrays. It's so much like the town that I live in, like many small towns. Um, this is, I say it's called Dirt? Okay, so let's get into a few things here. Well, I'll never think of the term bless your heart the same way again. I thought that was great. A little tidbit that is, again, so small town. Um, when she's talking to Chris Messina's character in the bar, and she's like, he wants in on the town. Like, tell me what this place is like. And she says, well, when people say bless your heart, they mean fuck you. That is very small town. That is a very type, like, this kind of, I can see people in my town having a phrase like that. They talk to you like that when they're talking down to you. They try to sound like they're saying something nice. Um, also, one of the things that I was trying to remember last week was the way that they do the memories, the quick flashes. I was trying to put together what that reminded me of. And what those quick flashes remind me of is Terrence Malick's The Thin Red Line. I think it was from 1998. The same year that Saving Private Ryan came out, his World War II movie, a lot of his characters had those, like, they'd see something and they would flash quickly to things that they were thinking about. And that's a lot of this. Finally, it was driving me crazy how that style reminded me of. That's neither here nor there. That's just an observation on my end. Um, I really like the music at the opening credits. It was really unusual. And then when you find out that it was the music that she was listening to on her headphones while she's laying down, I thought that was a really nice way to mesh the two things together. And it seems like that the credits of the show will probably be a little different than normal shows, seeing as how this is like a limited run, this is just like a one season show. So I think they have a little more free reign to take some chances, not chances really, just do something different with things like opening credits. Um, the funeral in this was one of the most, again, I keep saying authentic and drenched in realism, but that really felt like that was one of the most well made funeral scenes I've ever seen. Because it wasn't overblown. It was simple and quiet and somber and weird and awkward. That kind of awkwardness that you get at funerals, that you're supposed to have at funerals. In a lot of big shows, you go to a funeral and it's like just full blown, um, and almost to the point where it's not that personal. And in this, it's very personal and it's very sad. And just also the way Camille, when she's there and you look around and people are looking at her, and it's that same kind of hometown thing that I've felt, where um, I've gone to funerals where I'll go back to a place I haven't been, and suddenly all eyes are on you, and it feels like I've felt in my case. I don't know if they meant for the character to feel like this, but like how you feel like somehow the impact of what has just happened is a little bit lesser because now people are looking at you, like making it your story, like they've already moved on from this to that, like, or even maybe they think in their way that you're taking like the spotlight off of the tragedy and the grief of the process that they're in. Um, but it was just Another really well shot and well acted scene. The whole thing with their mother always trying to stop her from writing and always caring about appearances and stuff. And while I understand to some degree, you should be respectful at funerals and things like that, and maybe not be so concerned about the story. Um, Again, Patricia Clarkson's just obsession over appearances, and I didn't get the gist of her character until this week. That her family is basically they run the it sounds like they are the big pig barons. Her family is, so that was a little something to find out. And the girls in the when she goes to the convenience store, and they say that the killer isn't killing the cool kids, and that just was like, again, just something that you can just hear some stupid ass teenager say. The writing in this is very just honest and true and tragic, and like, people talk like this. This isn't one of those shows where people don't, they don't talk in hyperboles. They talk like natural people. And again, if this episode was written, I don't know if last episode was written by Gillian Flynn, but this one was. And I mean, if this is how her writing in her books is, from last week, I got to start reading this lady's books. Well, we get to. I didn't know that Amy Adams' like obsession with the needles and stuff, and how that's got to do with the writing on her, all the scars on her arms. That was just like the amount of internal damage that has been done to her, to lead you to be able to do that, is crazy. One of the things that kind of takes me out of the episodes a little bit is her interaction with like her editor. I don't want to say editor, like the guy who runs the paper that she works for. He's always, they keep having these interactions with him and the lady who's like always off to the side listening. I'm not quite sure what the hell they keep calling her for, and why is that lady always there, just like kind of perched, like listening over the shoulder. Like, why? I understand that they care about Camille's character, but there's just something odd about, I don't know, their concern, or the way that lady's just always hovering. I think that's really it for me, is the way that lady's just kind of hovering around the conversation at all times. So I don't know if like that's his wife, or like, I assume it's like his wife or his girlfriend, or just some shrink or something. I don't know. I got some very like creepy, like kind of David Lynchian vibes when Camille was talking to the kids at the baseball diamond, and they're talking about the woman in white and how she kind of looks at the woods, and you get that creepy feeling of, yeah, these kids are playing. There's a killer. Somebody's killing kids, specifically girls, but still. And they're right to their right against the woods, and how anybody could be in there. And anybody could come out and take these kids if they wanted. And nobody would probably even know. And that kind of paranoia that the show kind of, lets out, makes you feel like it, that kind of mentality that you don't want to have. You want your kids to be able to be safe. But you're like at the same thinking like, man, yeah, if somebody wanted to, they could just come right out. And when she goes over to the fence, and that you see that image of this woman in white kind of come out creepily, it reminded me of something that David Lynch might do in one of his movies. Just that creepy image of, it's not there, is it there, I don't know, like kind of reality kind of check. The small town cop thing, where it's like Matt Craven plays the cop, and he's playing him well, but just seems like every small town has to have the cop who doesn't want anybody to tell him what to do, like, in my town kind of thing. And I feel like that's a little tired. The guy is playing him well. It's just kind of a tired old hat kind of thing. And I hope that there's, this guy isn't just going to be this way the whole time. I understand his frustration. But now we get to the pig head, which was very interesting. That Chris Messina's character, wanted to know, and that was the scene in the morgue with the body, and it's a dummy, but there was just something about the way that they wrote it and the acting in it that was just more uncomfortable than I'm used to being, like when I see procedurals where you see bodies on tables. Like I've seen, like Scully on the X-Files do a bunch of autopsies and not felt anything. But this, when they talk about it, and it's about the removing of the teeth, and how you have to have strength and just, you have to, like, what kind of pliers, and then, like you got to do this, and the baby teeth come out really, and it was really a hard scene to look at. And even like when they have the flashes of the girls found at the river and all this stuff, it's sad. This is like The Handmaid's Tale. Okay, this is not an entertaining show. It's again a kind of a misery on parade, but with a story that I think is effective and important, and just I like it a lot. Maybe shouldn't be watching it. I don't know if you're feeling depressed, and with the themes of this, where you can tell that Amy Adams her life has just been really hard, and they do have that warning at the end of the episodes about self-harm and substance abuse and things like that are really good. But yeah, if you're in a bad state of mind, I'd probably skip watching this. Just because it's not really, it could make you feel worse. But I'm really looking forward to this show. Keep going, and I hope it's kind of reminding me a little bit of True Detective. But not just kind of the way it's filmed and written and portrayed and acted and stuff. It's just kind of a tone that reminds me a lot of True Detective season 1. Yeah, that's about it. There's not a lot of resolution in this. I mean, you're just getting a lot of small town shit in this, even from the lady who takes down the missing signs and stuff. It's just, going forward, it's just kind of an interesting, for at least me, again, to not to beat a dead horse, but just to feel like somebody, man, like came to my town and like, interviewed a lot of people on how they talk and act and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna end it there. This was an incredible episode. The acting again is really good. This is gonna start, if this doesn't start getting like Emmy buzz for next year, I'll be shocked, because Amy Adams and Patricia Clarkson, they're bringing it. And I really like Chris Messina a lot, and I hope that he gets some more interesting stuff to do on this show. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. We hit 160 subscribers today, so that's great. So more subscribers the better. And yeah, share if you want. If you have friends that watch this. I don't know a lot of people that do reviews for this show. So anyway, this is Rob for Smirking and Reviews saying thanks for watching this video. Please check out my other videos. I've got the Handmaid's Tale videos. We've got Preacher. We've got Westworld, Legion, comic reviews. I just did a review for A Quiet Place that, yes, it is on Blu-ray and not a movie review, but it is kind of for those of you who want a new, fresh perspective of after the movies, it's there too. So anyway, again, this is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews saying thanks for all the support. Thanks for everybody who watches this video, and we will see you on the next one. All right? Have a good one. Bye.